Visibility is no longer optional. It is infrastructure. If you're not visible, you are invisible. If you are invisible, you are replaceable. That's the truth. Hi, my name is Michael Duffy,
And I'm Julianne Duffy.
and today we're going to talk about how to stop being invisible, how to build a visibility engine using YouTube, how to stop being invisible in a noisy market.
So, what ends up happening is we're under a point of economic survival. When your visibility disappears and you're not being seen, your business disappears. And we firsthand know all about this. Prior to 2020, we both had very good jobs. We've been self-employed. We were very much built our businesses around being in one specific location. And then with the lockdowns and what happened, that essentially dried up our local business. It made it more difficult to compete, and we legitimately just felt like our clients were disappearing, we were disappearing, revenue was gone. And there was a very hard realization that we still had a lot to offer, but we needed to expand and be more visible. We needed to be able to find more people to assist. So we have the visibility gap. So most businesses run out of these three different states. So they're either invisible, right? So no one even knows that they exist, randomly posting, or dependent on one platform. Now, if you're selling anything, you really need to be seen. This is like we said, like, I don't know if Mike has anything else to add about being invisible during, you know, the early 2020s and kind of realizing how much more we needed to be seen. But if you're not visible, your business disappears. You have to be able to reach out and connect with other people. And posting occasionally is like running a tiny classified ad, like in the Need a Plumber little ad in the back of the newspaper. That's really what it's like.
So, what is one extra client per month worth to you? Let's just think about your average client value and times that by 12. So, if your average price is $250, times that by 12, that's extra $3,000 a year. So, if your average ticket price is 500 or 1,000, that um, the value, just imagine the value of having just one extra client per month and what that could mean to your revenue at the end of the year. And this is why we need to solve your visibility problem.
Exactly. And invisibility isn't neutral. It's not. Like, um you end up with every month where your competitors are publishing, are getting seen, are making content. They're gaining more authority in the online space. YouTube, if you're putting it on that platform, is going to favor them more, and then it gets more and more difficult to catch up. They're taking the steps. So really, invisibility is quite detrimental because it compounds against you.
So just think about this. Um, the visibility engine, it's quite simple. It's create a video once, use YouTube as your foundation layer, and then automatically repurpose that YouTube content everywhere else that you could be. That might include Google My Business,
Mhm.
your other social media platforms. There's the Facebook and the Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and Rumble and Substack and many, many others. So that the amount of time and energy you need that you would typically need to focus on all those other platforms, we can make it quite simple with the visibility engine and the structure we've built around it. And Just imagine with everything being distributed, one piece of content each week being distributed everywheres, your search footprint grows. You have all of these locations you've sent your content to, and that's all feeding back to Google search and YouTube search.
So we really come to this point where if that makes sense, what's been stopping you? Why haven't you been doing this? And what ends up being truthful for pretty much everybody is it comes down to this list here. Especially business owners, they'll struggle with first, we don't have a roadmap. So we don't know exactly what our game plan is, right? We know we're over here to over here, but we have no idea how we're going to get from this to here. There's like, what way? What's the most efficient way? And being that we full-time travel, sometimes to get the easiest is not necessarily the most direct way. So it's interesting, but with a roadmap, you get there, right? So most people struggle with first off, no roadmap. So posting randomly, you're overthinking, get burnt out, you second guess, so that becomes a problem, right? And then you're like, "Oh, should I have posted this or not or whatever," right? Then the next one is the no accountability, right? So there's nobody and there's no external pressure, right? Because when you go to make content, who's there's nobody to force you. It's up to you to create this, especially if you want to go forward with your own business, your own branding, right? So you don't have an external pressure, there's no deadline, no one's checking in, and you can continuously say, "Oh, I'll start next week." And we've seen this that next week doesn't ever come. Like that you have to get that first step forward. Then we come into the next part, which is no structure. So when there's no structure, again, how are they like what's your script? It doesn't have to be a really, tight script. You can or if you want a really tight script, depending on who you are and need a monitor to help you read, that type of thing. But you need a framework. Are you more script like? Are you not? Are you a little bit more cash? What are you going to do? What kind of content, right? And then creating those type of excuse me, formulas and hooks. And then having the outline, templates, packaging structure, essentially the structure. How are you going to do that, right? How are you going to record? When are you going to do it? How are you going to know if you've seen success? All those things are part of the structure and also part of the system that we're putting in play. So create once, repurpose, distribute, measure, and improve, right? And then the next one is no feedback. So you don't know if your thumbnails are good. You don't know if your hooks are boring. You don't know if you're being clear on who what you're positioning, all those things. So you want some feedback and we want successful feedback, things that are just going to tighten it up. And so you don't have to keep guessing. And sometimes that can also be a problem because I've done it before where you're just like, I don't know what's wrong. So try doing something else to try changing things. Right. And what ends up happening most of the time, most people are not as stubborn as I am. Most are just going to like lose confidence. You're gonna be like, I can't get this together, or this is a struggle, it's harder. So we really want to keep you in the point of what is your return on investment, right? Because right now, with all of this, it's not information that's your problem. It's not, you know it. It's the action steps. And the actions have to be motivating. And that's really where we need to start to go into what the visibility engine is. It's our 8-week installation sprint. So this is going to be the way to give you the roadmap, the accountability to essentially assist you in all those areas that I just mentioned.
So this visibility engine program includes 8 private live classes. So we're going to meet every single week, twice. Mondays at 1 p.m. Central, and then again Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central. So every single week, there's actually 3 times. So Monday and Thursdays where we're going to be going hands-on with this, and Saturday is always we have a 9 a.m. Free class for all of our students. So you get accountability because we're going to be have meeting with you on Zoom 3 times a week to ensure We are solving your headaches when it comes to technology, when it comes to having your production list to get this content created. Doesn't that sound amazing? Um, we also have a private Facebook community where you can share your progress, ask questions, get feedback, etc. Because we have a team, we have a community already that we've built of YouTubers, and it is across different niches. And we know all students move at different levels, and there's just different environmental variables that happen with you on your YouTube channel journey. And we're going to be doing live content reviews with you as well. So just hands-on production managers helping you install this YouTube visibility engine in your business in 8 weeks. You're going to get at the end of the 8 weeks, 30 videos published. So depending on your content, there's can be longs that are uploaded, lives, and shorts. So in 8 weeks, 30 videos published. That means that is, if we're doing one video per week, you've already got over half a year already completed. This is turnkey. Get your video. We're going to help you get those 30 videos uploaded to YouTube and either set to schedule or however you're designing your YouTube channel. We're here to help you with those 30 videos. And also very important, clear positioning. We want to make sure that your YouTube channel looks amazing on all size devices. So mobile devices, tablets, laptop screens, and big TVs in homes, right? Because YouTube is truly everywhere's, and we need to ensure that your YouTube channel looks good when your audience is discovering you, and they are welcome to, they want to subscribe and follow your journey as you're building out your YouTube channel. All these steps are to help your search presence. As we've learned with our YouTube channels and being in the YouTube partner program, YouTube is simply just sends many your video links to Google search. It's called high authority backlinks. Helps with your SEO results on Google. So every single week, you're uploading one new video per week to YouTube. YouTube's eventually, when the algorithm's happy with you, sending those video links to Google search.
Exactly, right? So that is where we start to go, Mike's bringing us right into it, the return on investment. The return on investment of building the visibility engine. Now, we're not here promising you that you're going to have 100,000 subscribers. If you get them, great. That's what we want for you. We're not promising you're going to make millions of dollars off of doing these videos. What we want you to do is we want to help you become visible. And that is what we're going to help you do. And there's so many returns on investments of making the content, using YouTube as your base, and then going forward. You're going to learn so much about how this is going to benefit you. First, as Mike started talking about here, visibility and discoverability. So Google search visibility. Once you're in YouTube, as Mike mentioned, it gives that high authority backlink to Google search. So you're not only being found on YouTube under your content name, you're also being found on Google. And that gives you the authority to show up so much easier than your competitors. It is a wonderful perk. And being able to be discoverable on both those platforms. Then, of course, we're really going to promote you on platform cross indexing. So we want them to not only, appear in Google, YouTube, but on other social media. So it's really embedding with the websites and the content, so if AI looks you up, they can find you too, right? Like you want to be discoverable. And the other big perk is 24-hour, 7 days a week discoverability. These are really the big perks because once you have that evergreen content, the content you've put up on YouTube, as long as it's your content and there's no reason to have, it ever taken down, it's always going to be there to be searched and used, and it's going to help build your knowledge base and your authority in the industry that you're with. Do you have anything else that you would add with that visibility before we jump on to credibility, Mike?
No, I think, this makes sense, right? This really makes sense because we've been doing it for years, and we just learn more about how well this all works together, and this is why we've
Yeah,
built this visibility engine.
exactly, exactly. Okay, well, let's jump on because more return on investments. So the other part of the return on investment is credibility and career growth. So first off, you're building trust and credibility. And we're in an age where I do feel that there's a lot of lack of trust. We don't know what is AI, what's not anymore. You don't know people as much after what has happened. So you have to build your trust and credibility. And when you show up consistently and you're proving that whatever service or industry you're in or whatever you're promoting, you're there all the time showing up honestly and showing how good your work is or whatever it is, that's going to build the new trust in the reality. And showing up is huge. That is where it's going to go. I don't know if Mike wants to add anything on that, but I think that is part of it, is really building the trust by being consistent.
Know, like, and trust. That's what I say about YouTube is you end up know, liking, and trusting those channels that you're, following, and that's why you've subscribed to them, and that's all I have to say about that.
Well, exactly. Exactly, right? So then the other part, the other return on investment here is authority positioning. So again, if you're doing it, you're just gaining more authority, more more proof that you've been doing it. Thought leadership, you are a leader in your industry. You're shaping ideas, conversations, because as you're building the content, you'll create your own unique content and that'll shift things. So you're adding to depth to this reality, really. And of course, your professional visibility, that you are being seen by clients. The idea is we want them to look for you. We want them to come to you. We don't want to be begging for our clients anymore. We want our clients to find us through looking, and we just appear like magic. How else would you say it's compounding from here, Mike? What do you any comments on this, or shall we just jump into
I think we can
long
jump into the I think this is this I think we can jump to the next one.
perfect.
Okay, so we're building business and long-term assets by building out this YouTube channel. So, like, lead generation. Leads are so important to businesses because you're gonna have your existing customers, and then how are you attracting video attracts people already interested in your expertise. They're just and keeping consistent with one new video per week on your channel, all your subscribers get that email from YouTube saying, "Hey, you're live." And they may not see it right away, but when they go check their emails, they're like, "Hey, you went live. I know, like, and trust you already. I'm going to go back and see what your updates are." You don't get that with the other platforms. Um, reduce advertising costs. So, depending on your business, you may have never paid for ads, but most of us, including me, have paid for ads. So, YouTube is a free platform, and let's face it, you can promote yourself organically using YouTube. You put your content there. You put your links to your products and services or your books if you're an author, and you just need to send organic traffic there. You've got YouTube, it's like a talking business card, and it just you have reduced advertising costs because you have fresh video content there, and it's just a matter of getting people's eyeballs in front of it. But they'll be there if you're doing it every week. Content repurposing. So just imagine one video can generate multiple pieces of content across platforms. So your it's just like this idea of repurposing. I know a lot of people bring it up, and I haven't really seen it implemented like how we're implementing YouTube as the base to redistribute everything, redistribute your content everywheres. Compounding growth. Each video increases the chance of future discovery. Correct, because we're utilizing YouTube. YouTube wants new content at least once a week. So
Well, and you
you
mentioned there's more viewers on YouTube than which platforms?
there's more of daily viewers on YouTube than Netflix and Disney Plus combined. So in the in today's day and age, internet is everywhere's. Video content is everywhere's. So decades ago, internet wasn't everywhere's. You had TV, that was it. But now with the internet, you are your own channel, and that's how you can harness it for your business. So, video discovery. How are your clients going to find you in the future? Are they going to be doing a Google search? Yes, great. Do you show up? Do you have plenty of video content on your YouTube channel for them to know, like, and trust you really quick? And that way you can beat out your competition. And that just feeds me into the permanent knowledge library. Your YouTube channel, you're literally building an encyclopedia of your personality, maybe your employees, and all the knowledge that you've gained over years or decades of your craft. And like you can really create the ideal client journey. You can take your ideal client journey that you do in person with with brand new customers coming in, and reinvent that on YouTube. So it's like video one, start here. Like you can literally tell your customers what type of service and relationship to expect from your or business and
Mhm.
organization before they even get started.
I have to say one of my favorite little ones that does clips is a store, and so you know that if you walked in, this would be your experience, and they play it over and over, and sometimes I think they make skits. Some are not maybe not real, but some of them I think are the real, like, actual people coming in,
Well,
and you would see this consistent process when they would go
well,
in.
to
So it's
know
preparing them.
to know is to trust.
Mhm.
So if you know how an experience is going to go, you're more likely to repeat that and repeat it often.
Yes.
But like, dental or something like that, where you're like, I don't like this. I know how it's going to go. You're going to be, some people like the dentist, others not so much. Right. So I
Hey, but
think,
if the dentist can, you know what? Dentists are always competing. That would be perfect to see, like, how do you stick out in calming your patients? What do you offer? What would their experience? And of course, then you would have, like, I already have one for the dentist. The view of being the client coming in, and then it just goes black when they're asleep or whatever, and then it would wake up in their beautiful experience. There you go. I'm already helping
exactly,
people.
sedation dentistry, that probably is a big seller just because they can probably just describe that to their patients. We're
Oh
going to
my
put
god,
that.
they can do clips of what their patients see while they're under anesthesia. Oh, there we go. Okay.
So
Okay.
the YouTube can be very powerful because it's not like your experience is like on the other platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Um, they're getting You have to create a brand new experience for your audience every single day.
Mhm.
Where YouTube, it's static and it's just there, and it's almost like like a nostalgic feeling. I don't know, it's kind of it's super, and the more I get into YouTube, it's just I notice a lot of different ways why people like it so much,
Yeah, I do. I agree. And it's interesting when you realize you start following somebody and you're watching a video they made 5 or 6 years ago because you've been
and how
watching
many
them.
times have you rewatched it and didn't realize you watched it,
Or
but
you get to the end and you're like, "I was bamboozled. I've seen this one before."
'cause they
Okay,
edited it.
okay. Exactly. So obviously we have a heart for that. Anyways, let's explain what happens over the 8 weeks. Let's jump into that.
Okay, our 8-week visibility engine installation. Realistically, week 1, we diagnose why your business is invisible online and install the message that actually attracts attention. You may have a YouTube channel, you may not. We need to make sure it looks good and we know what you're called at. That is really the visibility reality check. You either got it, you don't. Let's see how you show up online. Let's make our checklist to fix it.
Let's see
We
where you
can,
start.
exactly. Everybody's going to be in a different position, and it's going to be fun to compare and contrast like everybody's journey with this. Week 2, the content engine. We build a repeatable system so you never run out of video ideas again. Week 3, simple recording system. We remove the friction so creating content becomes easy and repeatable. Week 4, the distribution machine. One video turns into content across YouTube, Shorts, Reels, TikTok, and more. There's so many different social media network platforms. You may already have audiences and those other platforms, which is great. The goal with this 8-week program is to build multiple audiences at the same time using the same amount of energy and effort you're already investing in creating content and posting. Week 5, titles, thumbnails, and hooks. This is where we install the packaging that actually makes people click. Week 6, authority positioning. Your content stops looking random and starts positioning you as the expert. Week 7, the conversion path. This is where visibility turns into leads, clients, and revenue. What we're going to do is we're going to do simple like screenshots before and after, because I believe in measurability. And as long as the numbers are increasing, that is a win. And it's like just step by step every single day, go through, as you said, we're going to meet the 3 times a week and really make sure that, some weeks are going to be easy, some are going to be a little bit more challenging, and we just need to make sure that we're all on the same page at the end of the week before we start the next week.
Well, and it's giving you realistic, like, we want people to have huge success. However, there is a lot of goals that may not be these that suddenly have 10,000 subs or you have 1,000,000 subs. Like, we need goals that you're seeing consistent progression in the right direction. And that's the win. So that's really what we want to keep you on that path of what is this real win and why are we really doing this? It's to build your authority, right, Mike? Like, that's what I
Yeah,
wanted to get.
exactly. It's like we know the paths we've gone on across our multiple channels, and when we are currently consulting with other organizations and with other YouTube channels, and it's like we what's the measure, what are we looking for? Increase in subscribers, increase in views on the shorts, watch time on the longs. So there will be increases to those numbers as long as there is content going out and organic traffic being generated. When your audience starts seeing you being consistent every single week, we expect these numbers to go up, and that's fun for you and it's super rewarding for us because we've been where all we've been where all channels have been. Start at 0, get to your first 1,000, start working on the frequency of your content, get your watch time in, and just define what those wins are for you and your channel and go from there and celebrate with you each step of the way. When we get to week 8, we have the visibility engine, the long-term engine installed in your business. We've been working on this for 2 months, and we lock in the system so your visibility continues after the program ends. At the end of week 8, 30 videos uploaded to YouTube, set on a schedule week. If you're a superstar and you make more than that, that's great. We want to have a long runway. So at the end of week 8, you've got videos scheduled. You can continue with program because it's already installed in your business. You have your production, what needs to be done for every single video that you're recording or going live with.
So again, why this works. Just like again, just to, if we can't say it enough, YouTube is your base asset. That is where the reason we do this is because YouTube is your searchable engine. It's where you can have your long form. It's all indexed. It's discoverable. It's evergreen. So it's your knowledge base that you can access essentially as long as YouTube exists. It's ownable as much as the platform will allow you to own. It is. And it's really because it is unlike Instagram posts, Facebook posts, TikTok, because they disappear and the algorithms turn over. So it's YouTube becomes a better anchor. So that's really why. And then it's searchable, evergreen, repurposable, and compounds over time is what happens through using it as a base. So we don't build the content, we're building assets. That's what we really want to kind of think about is what we're building is assets for your ability to be visible, your industry, your job, your if you are a want to be a influencer, your brand, it's still a job, right? We want to build that asset and that is why this works. Is there anything else that you'd add to that, Mike?
Just wanted to add that when we talked about Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the other social medias, whilst they do send a couple backlinks to Google search for you, but it's typically your most it's not a consistent, it's not a reliable backlink because it's just going to be one of your random videos. Maybe you were on a podcast, whatever. It's just gonna be one of your random videos that Google search has picked up as a backlink. We're comparing it to YouTube. I want when your customers search for you on Google, especially if you have a ton of competition,
Mhm.
like plumbers, lawyers, whatever. I want
Dentist.
your dentists, denturists. I got a couple of clients like that. Plumbers. I got plumber clients. Realtors. I got realtor clients.
Oh yeah.
I want your Google, your YouTube videos to outrank your competitors' backlinks. So I want your YouTube. Search for a realtor near me. Search for a plumber near me. I want your videos to show up and for them to outrank your competition because I know your competition is spending money on ads. We all have this problem, and this is why YouTube works so, so much better than the other platforms, but together because we can literally just take your content and repurpose it. And that's part of this visibility engine that we're talking to you about today. We're super excited about it.
Exactly, and we're excited because we want you to work smarter, not harder. However, these 8 weeks might be a lot more difficult for you just to get this because we're working out and getting the process and putting together your plan of how you're gonna keep making your content. It's not but we're doing it quick to make it that after that, it's like part of your natural routine. It's easy to implement, it's easy to continue and maintain, and that's also the focus, correct?
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, I think we're go to the next slide here.
Who this is for. So in case it hasn't been obvious, business owners who must be seen. Every business. We just listed off a whole bunch. Any industry, you want to be seen. You've got competitors. Non-monetized creators, experts that are ready for structure. So if you write a book, those are wonderful. We're going to be doing and working with a lot of authors, hopefully very soon. Operators, not hobbyists. So people that want to actually make this as a way to be seen. That's who we're looking for. Anything else on that, Mike? Okay, ready to
No, Good.
unravel or unveil our visibility engine.
Okay. So, as we've mentioned, this is 8 weeks. It is an installation. We're installing our YouTube visibility engine in your business and reviewing how you show up right now and what video content you've already created in the past, because we can repurpose what you already have.
Mm-hmm.
However, you need a production checklist in order to make new content weekly. So from the start of week 1 to the end of week 8, that is 3 classes per week, and we will design this production checklist for your business and show you how everything works and
Mm-hmm.
work with you to install it, and um, just follow our steps. We've done it across multiple channels, and we're introducing this to all of our students and really designing how they want their you like step by step, hand in hand. Here's what your YouTube channel you're currently building yourself looks like across all these different screens, mobile, tablet, 20-inch monitor, 100-inch TV in somebody's living room. Need to make sure it looks good, and need to make sure you're producing you've installed this system, this planning system, this production system in your business, so you can um, reliably build the discipline to make the content, learn how to make shorts in the YouTube studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're gonna show you what we've been doing and how, with the same amount of time and energy you're already spending doing your random posting all over the place, maybe you're even gonna spend less time, because we're gonna just show you the efficiencies that we've done, set up your computer if need be, and just say, we're building you this standard operating procedure. It's like, this is what you're gonna do, how you're gonna find the time in your schedule, and let's get this done every single week, learn something new, get more videos made, and finally get found.
Now I'm gonna say we should just be called the visibility engineer coaches. But my husband knows how I feel about that. That's really what we're coming to do.
I've been told all the time, I'm a technology coach, I'm a business coach, and I'm like, I'm your production manager when it comes to your business, because there's going to be the technology side, the emotional side, and then how are we finding new customers, right? Because in order to do what you do in your business and service those customers and make your business happy, make sure you're happy with your business, you need new customers.
Yeah.
And this is exactly how your competitors are already doing this in 2026. Maybe they're amazing on Instagram or TikTok, et cetera, et cetera. You don't want to spend all the time learning those algorithms. Build your video library, your database over on YouTube with your ideal client journey. And then we're just going to use this visibility engine every time you're uploading something new to YouTube. The repurposing engine component grabs it and throws it up on the other platforms. So you don't have to think about that Instagram or TikTok or Facebook content, because it's already being repurposed, grabbed from YouTube and repurposed everywhere else. If you've already got a production system for reels or like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, this works hand in hand with that, because if you already have an audience over in a different place, well, we want you to use that content and add it to your YouTube. The repurposing engine also goes and watches TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and grabs that content and puts it up on YouTube. So
And I
our
know
system,
I can vouch that I found people where every comment's like everybody had found these people from TikTok, and I had never found them on TikTok. I found them on YouTube. And so that's where you're gonna find just the hidden audiences is what we're really
Exactly,
about.
and other people may be doing something like this, but I could it would be a full production team doing this because what they're doing is taking all that video they're producing all that video content and using social media schedulers and um that is those are full-time salaries. Like
Yes. So
it's this
we're
is
giving you 8 weeks. We're gonna get you done. We're gonna get you done. Get it done. Gonna get it, double it down. Spend the right here, April, May, get these videos out, start getting that plan, and then start to go forward into the summer. And you're gonna get this is a great deal because if you've looked around for pricing to get any YouTube help, this is a steal of a deal. If you've compared any help that people will do on for YouTube. So I guess we're leaving you really before we leave you, it's just like 8 weeks from now. So that's really what I'm talking about now, right? 8 weeks from now, having 30 content, plan on how maybe you're going to divide that content up and make shorts that maybe will even extend that 30 pieces into another 30 weeks if you're only going to do some shorts. Like the reality is we want to get you into a routine, into a process that 8 weeks from now you can continue going forward with.
exactly 8 weeks from now. Where are you going to be in 8 weeks from now? Are you going to be thinking you can do this yourself? Are you going to commit to that schedule? Are you going
Mhm.
to be responsible? Like, or is it going to be just like that, fat in January where everybody, joins the gym and stops going 4 weeks later because they didn't have anybody to hold them accountable?
And that's a proper thing to say based on the astrology. This week, what came up in the astrology was people want to be seen. So are you jumping on the I want to be seen McDonald wagon and you got 2 videos out? Yeah, I'm consistent. I don't need help. And then no videos next week.
And this is what I tell all my students. I'm like, there's going to be certain weeks where your schedule's easy, and then there's going to be other weeks where your schedule's not easy. And this is why we've built this system is that we know Monday to Friday can change like car breaks down, people get sick, you have you're married, you got kids, whatever your life situation is, there's always excuses to quit in the middle. And this 8 weeks, we are setting you up for success because we are putting time and energy in to show you where you are now and then helping you install this visibility engine system into your business operations and showing you the behind the scenes production checklist we've been using because um, YouTube is not overnight success for us. We were working on it for years and then had some feedback that, hey, your video content's great, but your channel just it sucks. And you're like, okay, thanks for the feedback. What people find me on YouTube? Like I didn't even think about YouTube until somebody offended my YouTube. But hey, that is an unknown audience looking at watching my videos.
Now
And it's like,
now in fairness, like, we wanna help everybody. So, we want you to take the reins, and it's gonna be an intense 8 weeks. Like, it's an average of 5 videos every week that you need to make. Now, if you do need some help, when you want something done, we will customize done with you. That's done with you is this 8-week sprint, but done for you or custom scoped if you need some special needs, you can always reach out to us as well. And but really it's about looking at where you're going to be in 8 weeks from now and being like, are you committed to truly being seen and making sure your business gets seen and you start to make a dent in getting the steps and the traction to be seen over your competitors, to start even showing up when your competitors are showing up if they're already online, right? Do you want to wait another 8 weeks and have that just be longer and more time that's been ignored?
I'm going to show the website because that's where all the good information about the visibility engine is. And it's our website, IamYouTubeFamous.com, but I am going to screen share it here and then just show you if it wants to be shared. There we go. Okay, so it's simple. IamYouTubeFamous.com, and here it is. Install our YouTube visibility engine. There's a button to enroll now, ask us a question, pay via Venmo. It's 8 weeks. It's live group coaching, and your videos created by week 8. So you can look for more information here. It's IamYouTubeFamous.com. Go over the 8-week curriculum. Mike Duffy, I'm your coach. I am to be your production manager and review what you need to be doing on a weekly basis. There is my email address at the bottom, my phone number's at the bottom. You can pay via Venmo, or if you click enroll now, it'll take you to the Stripe link. Do you have anything to add, Julie?
Oh no, I just thought you were going to click on the Stripe link. I was excited, and then you didn't.
I'm just gonna.
I was waiting in anticipation.
Okay, it's great. I just credit card charges. If you choose to pay via Stripe, just to put it out there, this is YouTube University offered by IamYouTubeFamous.com. This is our YouTube visibility engine program. It's the company name is Nomadis Technology Systems LLC. This is what you'll see on your credit card if you choose to go with the credit card option. If you choose,
they can fill it out.
Exactly. Depending on the method you pay, you make options for making payments. I think you can do pay later. All that's you just fill it out with your information, hit pay, and I think Venmo just takes you to my Venmo address, and then
there you go. And that's how you register. So classes start this coming week, April the 6th. So that is Monday, April the 6th, and the first class would be at 1 p.m. It's 1 p.m. Eastern, and we will be going forward from that point onwards. I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to add.
I don't believe so. I think everything is on the website, IamYouTubeFamous.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. The contact details are at the bottom of the website.
Once you're registered, we'll reach out to you and make sure we get everything set up so and you'll get your private link to the classes and to the Facebook group.
And we'll re-verify time zone with you, because I know that is always the main thing that comes up in people's programs is time zone. And this whole 8-week sprint is about holding you accountable. So the communication is going to hold you accountable. There's going to be reminders, and I want to ensure that you're not confused on time zone, because we have clients, we have YouTube students all over the world, and knowing when class is going to happen is super important, because we want to ensure that you are learning as we go and
are successful with this whole process. And we know what time zone you're in, and you know what time zone you're in.
Exactly, because we might change time zones, and that's the funny thing I bring up about time zones. I'm like, did I miss any meetings today?
Because we're always changing time zones.
Even though we're charging you for this course, I know people will still get confused with time zones, and that is just the fun part.
Again, I guess the last thing is just coming back here to remember, like 8 weeks from now, where do you want to be? Do you want to be ahead? Do you want to be starting to make that footprint, start to get that evergreen content, start to have that in place, and taking advantage of this opportunity to start now and stop falling farther behind?
Exactly. Imagine where you want to be going into literally Q3 of this year as your business.
Exactly.
Looking at your business, like what have you accomplished in the first half of the year, and what are you going to accomplish in the last half of the year with our YouTube visibility engine, our 8-week course. You can launch yourself into the second half of the year with the YouTube channel fully loaded with 30 videos. Imagine your new audience that you're building when they come across your YouTube channel and it looks nice, it looks attractive, it tells your ideal audience to subscribe, and there's video content, fresh video content every single week, because your producer Mike has installed this in your business and taught you how to maximize this and maximize leverage you can get